Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an accumulative August-September favorites. Just meant to film an August favorites, but last weekend, which was Labor Day weekend, which was the beginning of September, I was in Seattle, and so I was like, oh, I'll film it next weekend, not really thinking that the next weekend is already like a full week into September. And by the time this video goes up, it's gonna be like halfway through September, so I was like, you know what, we'll just do August and September, and maybe if I have enough stuff to talk about, I might do another one at the end of September, but probably not. I'll probably wait till the end of October. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Kendra. I'd love to have you guys join the family. And don't forget to check out my social medias. Instagram is where I'm most active, as well as Twitter. So if you want to hit me up there, they're right here. But let's just go ahead and get right on into the video. I feel like I have a pretty good amount of stuff to talk about because this has been happening all through the month of August and September so far. So I really have tried out a bunch of stuff. There's been some Sephora sales where I've bought things. So yeah, so here we are today with some more products to ramble on and on about. Okay, so the first time I want to talk about are the Marc Jacobs Gloss Stick. I think that's the official name. Pretty sure they're $28, which is pretty pricey, and there's only like maybe 9 shades in the range so far, which really bothers me because I love the formula, I love the effect, but I don't love any of the shades, which is funny because I have 3. But anyways, the first one I bought was honey. Like, I always think of the Kanye West song Bound to, like honey. This shade I thought was gonna be something different, but it ended up being more so just like shimmer, which kind of is not what I wanted. I wanted like a brown nude. It's okay if it had, and I thought like, oh, you know, it's okay if it had shimmer in it, but this is just like straight gold shimmer. The second shade I bought is the Preach, like peach, but with an R, like a preach, you know? We're preaching to the choir. And I love this shade. This is a shade I wear all the time, but it does get a little neon with too many applications, so I don't love that. And then the other shade I have is Mocha Chocolata, which I wanted to be more brown, and it definitely pulls more pinky mauve on my lips, and that could just be my skin tone and, you know, the quality, the traits of my skin. But so here are those 3 shades. I love the formula, I love the vibe. I just wish they had more shades that like I would prefer. But if you like pinks, if you like peachies, they have tons of those. They have some reds, they have lots. I guess just not exactly what I'm looking for, but I really, really love this formula. I definitely want them to expand. It truly is like a lip gloss and a stick. It feels so amazing on the lips. It's super hydrating. I don't know if they last long enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I don't care about spending $28. They don't last super long, but the thing is, the way they fade, they still look amazing on your lips, so you can't really complain, I guess. I love them, and I really hope that Marc Jacobs pulls more shades and adds to their collection. The next thing I want to talk about is actually the highlighter I'm wearing on my face today, and this highlighter is Colourpop's Pressed Powder Highlighter in the shade Here Kitty Kitty. I remember receiving this like when I first bought them over a year ago, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it then, but I don't know if you saw, I just did a glossy drugstore highlights video, and so I was retesting within the last like couple of weeks all of the drugstore / affordable highlighters I have, and I just I was just applying this and I was like, this is amazing. Because it is very, very glossy and intense, but it also looks very well blended into the skin, like without even having to try super hard. And what I love about this is there's not like a ton of base pigment, it's really just this sheen. So you don't get this stripe of color or like a stripe of like beige. It really just comes off as this gorgeous sheen, and I've been obsessed with this. I've been wearing it all the time now, and like it's kind of one of those things where I'm like telling myself to use something different, but it's $7 or $8. I think it's totally worth your money. They do have a lot of other shades in the pressed powder formula. However, I've noticed that some of them are like a little chunky, whereas this one is not. But I do know that I have the Gimme More highlighting palette, and I love it. And I know I don't have it, but the Colourpop in Nudendo highlighting palette, people are obsessed with that. They say it's even better than the Gimme More palette, and I love the Gimme More palette. So if you want to try a Colourpop pressed powder highlighter and you want something you know is gonna work, I would just try the Nudendo palette. But I wanted to shout this out. If you have medium or light or fair skin, I think you would really like this. If you have like more to the medium, deep to dark, try the Nudendo palette because you have tons of options in that palette. We're just kind of going at a random order here because clearly I have no direction, so. The next product I want to talk about is really random, and it is this tiny little perfume sampler. It is the Nest Fragrances Cocoa Woods perfume. Now, this is actually one of their newest scents. Nest Fragrances is still a really small company, and I personally reached out to them. I have a screenshot of it and everything. They are cruelty-free. They don't sell in China, in mainland China, so they don't test their products on animals. I'm not sure if that's a market they're gonna expand to in the future, and I really hope they don't, because I'm obsessed with this perfume. Once I can afford it, I'm gonna buy the full size. And their perfumes are, for like the full size, $74, which is pricey, obviously, but it's not like a Tom Ford or Chanel perfume where you're paying upwards of $100 or more just for the full size. So I'm really excited to purchase it, but I have two of these little samplers. I used point perks at Sephora. So I have two of these little ones. They were 100 points each, and I keep one in my purse and one on my vanity. And honestly, this has lasted me quite a while. The one that I've used more, I still have at least half of it left, and I've had it for a couple of weeks. I'm obsessed with this. I guess I should tell you what it smells like. It's called Cocoa Woods, and one of the reasons I love it so freaking much is it reminds me a lot of the perfume. It's one of their most famous perfumes. Not famous, most popular perfumes at Sephora, but I can never buy it because it's not cruelty free. What is it called again? I just had it on the tip of my tongue and now it's gone. I think it's probably on the bestsellers. It is amazing. It is the most divine perfume smell in the entire world, but I wish this freaking brand would just be cruelty free, but it probably never will be unless China, it's Yves Saint Laurent, and it's, you've probably heard about it before. It's called Black Opium. It is amazing because it smells like coffee, chocolate, vanilla, and it has that musky scent, like literally everything I love. The notes are black coffee, white flowers, and vanilla, and it's warm and spicy. This one, let me tell you the notes. It's super similar, but kind of not really at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling on and on about a perfume, and I know that that's probably really boring for you guys, but I'm passionate about this perfume, okay? It's not very often I get to find cruelty-free perfumes. So this one is bittersweet cocoa, sequoia wood, white sandalwood, TR blossom, I don't know what that is, and Thai ginger. It has very, very similar like opening notes, I guess you could say. I'm not a perfume guru, so I don't really know. But like the first initial scent is super similar to the Black Opium perfume, but it is a little bit not as sweet. It is a little bit more bitter, which I actually like. It is very warm and woodsy and sexy, but it's just not as sweet as the Black Opium one, which is fine. I still love Black Opium. Again, I just don't own it, and I sometimes just smell it at Sephora just to smell it. Anyways, it is amazing, and I highly recommend it if you like something that's a little bit more warm and spicy, but also very sexy and mature. And it smells like this most divine, like chocolate, but not in a weird way, like not chocolatey at all. I don't really know what else to say. I've been talking about that product for way too long. Let's just move on. The next product is something else I talked about in the Glossy Drugstore highlights, and that is the Pixi by Petra Glowy Gossamer Duo. This one's in the shade Subtle Sunrise. I also mentioned in that video that I don't really love this other shade that's called, gosh, I forget, but there's only two shades, Subtle Sunrise, and one's a little more pinky. I don't love it. The formula is just as amazing. I just don't like the colors. It's a little bit too much like cool toned for me. This one, you get a gold, and then you get like this warm fiery shade that's amazing if you have medium to deep to dark skin tones. This is become, I think, one of my all-time favorite highlighters because it is so glossy and so like shiny and sheeny on your face. If you really, really build it up, it can look metallic for sure, but if you just use like 1 to 2 layers tops, you're getting this gorgeous beaming glow, but it looks super like flawless on the skin. I don't think this emphasizes texture. I think if you were gonna go in with tons of layers, it would start to emphasize your texture, so just kind of know that. But I did talk about this a lot in that video, so I'm not gonna go on about it too much. I'm obsessed. I'll give you swatches really fast. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend watching it because I put a lot of time and thought into it, and I talk about so many highlighters, so you really have a lot to hear, you know? So those are those swatches right there. It's kind of hard to see because of my beauty lights. I'm trying to make it hit the light perfectly. I just feel like Pixi's coming out with like one great product after the next, and I'm here for it. The next product is also a highlighter, and I mentioned this in a testing new makeup video. But this is the Natasha Danone Super Glow highlighter in the shade 1 Fair. This, I was really worried because I was like, this is really pinky beigey, which doesn't really go with my skin tone very well, but there is like no base pigment to this product. Like when you blend it on your face, it is just pure glass sheen on your face. Like glass, glossy, sheen, gorgeousness. And I'm obsessed. Pretty sure I told you how obsessed I was in that video, because when I said testing new makeup, I had actually tried this product because I was so excited for it. So I had tried it a couple times before. So I've been using this for like almost a month, I feel like. I have been floored by this. Like, this is amazing. It is $38, which is pricey, I will give you that, but I just want you to keep in mind that is the same price as a Becca highlighter. So if you are willing to spend your money on a good formula, this is one that I think you should try. Becca highlighters are still one of my favorite formulas ever, but this formula is like insane. I think it literally has crushed like gems and pearls in there. So like maybe you're paying for bougie ingredients. Probably we are, but isn't that how the world works these days? I guess. Anyways, I love the compact of this. It has a really solid mirror, so if you wanted to travel with this, you're really getting a lot of like goodness out of this product. Am I just rambling at this point? I think I am. I love this. I think it's worth your money. There's 3 shades. There's this, light, medium, and then I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Deep, and it's like this really, really, really gorgeous bronzy gold that I think would look amazing on deep skin tones. Hopefully they come out with more too, because she has had previous highlighter formulas that I heard are good. They're just not great. But this one, the Super Glow, girl, buy it. The next product is what I'm wearing on my lips right now, and this is the Nude Stick Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencil in the shade Purity. Actually, the reason I found out about this was Jamie Page. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. She announced she was doing a Nude Sticks meet and greet in somewhere in Canada. I honestly don't know. But when she announced it, she was wearing this lipstick on her lips, and she put it in her Instagram story, and then the next slide was like, hey, just by the way, I'm wearing Purity by Nude Sticks, and I was like, I need it right this second. I actually thought it was really funny because I'm not like a huge, sorry, I'm like staring at my lips as I talk because I love the color that much. I'm not like a huge cool tone lip girl. I do really like deep grungy lips, but it has to be the right shade for me to be into it. This is everything and more. So it's like a pinky, a deep pink nude with the most grungiest brown undertones. It's for sure cool toned. Like, you don't have like almost any warmth to this at all, but it looks so amazing. I want to find a shade just like this, but a little bit more brown. I feel like I'm going to be rocking a color like that all for fall. I love this formula though. I don't love it as much as my Too Faced Peachy Matte, whatever they're called, Moisture Peach Kiss Matte lipsticks. They're like in the tube. But I feel like this is super convenient. It's thin, it's skinny, it fits into your purse, it fits into your wallet or whatever you need it to be like. And this did last a long time with me. I wore all day on Thursday of last week, and I only touched up after I ate, which is pretty normal for me. I do that regardless of whatever lipstick I'm wearing, whether it's a matte liquid lip or like a tube lipstick or a gloss, anything. Anyways, the main reason for this is I'm obsessed with the color. The color is everything I wanted and more. And I've also recently been super into Nude Sticks. What I will say though is I have 2 Nude Sticks product, and both of them have broken on me. And I'm like really gentle, well, like I'm like fairly gentle with my makeup. I'm not like throwing it around everywhere. Like, I'm not doing crazy things with it. So I don't know, like let me know if you have similar problems with your Nude Sticks products. I'm not sure if they're super creamy and so they just like break when they're not handled with extreme care. I don't know. But that does segue us into our next product. Oh, my cat. Murphy's in a little ball. This is the Nude Sticks Nudies Tinted Blur Stick in the shade Light 3. I also tested this in a trying new makeup video. I am in love with this. I'll tell you why in a second, but this is broken. I'm glad it's not falling out right now, but the whole thing in there just fell out and I had to like smush it back in, which is like really gross and unsanitary and whatever. But I love this, but let me tell you why you wouldn't love this so that I'm not recommending it to you if you're not into it. This has almost no coverage whatsoever. This is really just like a blur stick with a tiny bit of color to it. So it's not gonna be a foundation at all. It's kind of just like I mean, the name of it is perfect, tinted blur stick. You're getting a slight bit of a tint and blurring everything out. I have been loving this duo, which is my next favorite, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is the super coverage one. I have the shade Vanilla. I'll first go down with the base of this, blend it out with my beauty blender, and then I just use the most tiniest amount of this. I don't do full-on triangles. It would look kind of weird to have super full coverage under my eyes and my forehead and the rest of my face not. If I was wearing a full coverage foundation, then I would use a little bit more of this, or medium coverage, or you know what I mean. But I go in with a good layer of this, blend it out, and then I use like 3 tiny dots under my eyes and then over blemishes. I've been loving this duo. It gives me the most warm glow because this is called Light 3 and it's definitely got warm undertones, and this is Vanilla and it's got yellow undertones. I feel like it just really matches my face very well, and I've been into it. The next thing I want to talk about is also a face product, and this is the Glossier Stretch Concealer, which is funny because when I first tried this, when I did like a Glossier video like a year and a half ago, this was before I ever even became a rep. They actually contacted me after that video to become a Glossier rep. Anyways, this stuff I hated when I first tried it because I felt like it made my under eyes look older, which is weird. I just felt like it clung onto my fine lines, even the finest of lines that no other concealer clings onto. But I have found the way that I love to use this. So I use my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. If you've been around here for a while, you know how much I freaking love that stuff. But what I do is I don't know why, I'm just being a weirdo today. So I use that under my eyes, across my nose, and over blemishes, and then to cover up redness, I use this. So I just dip my beauty blender in and then blend it out on my face. I will say this is not going to give you a lot of coverage. The reason I love this so much is it makes you covering up your redness looks like you're not covering up your redness, and that's just how gorgeous your face is. That is like really the perfect description for it. Now, will it last all day? No, definitely not. Not even if you powder your entire face, it's still not gonna last all day. That's just how this product works. It's a very, very dewy, like oily product, and I don't say that in a bad way because it's not, but if you are oily, or even if you just like touch your face ever, it's going to pick up and move. I set my face with powder and I still feel like this doesn't last as long as it should, but I am so obsessed with the way it makes my face look, so I just like get over it and just continue using it. And what I will say is it does fade really well on me personally. It does never look splotchy or blotchy. It fades really well, like it looks good even after it's faded, but you can tell it's faded. Does that make sense? I don't know. My last beauty related favorite is this makeup bag. This is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics makeup bag. This one is similar to another one he's come out with, but a little bit bigger. And I hope he comes out with more of these because I would totally buy another color. I traveled with this and all of my skincare fit in here, which is saying a lot because I don't have like any travel sized versions of my skincare except for like 1 or 2 of my skincare products, so I have to fit like full size bottles in here. But anyways, I'm obsessed with it because it has this really awesome like open square inside. I couldn't even think of a word. And it's got a cute little zipper. It has a star, like with the Jeffree Star logo, and I'm really living for orange these days, and I love that it's like super holographic, like yellowy green holographic. Anyways, highly recommend this if you're looking for something for, you could use this for makeup. Sometimes I do use it for makeup, but when I traveled to Seattle last weekend, I used it for skincare and I'm obsessed. I think it's worth your money. I think it's like 28 bucks, which is kind of pricey for a makeup bag. Usually I don't spend that much. Usually I buy like $12 to $18 ones off of Amazon, maybe 22 bucks tops, but I love this. And like I said, I'm living for orange these days. This video is getting really long, but I wanted to share with you some music favorites. For TV shows, I went back and started Vampire Diaries again because it's one of my favorite shows ever, like ever of all time. And literally, like, okay, I hate fall because I hate that summer is coming to an end. Even though Halloween is my favorite holiday ever, I just hate fall because it like makes me sad that summer is gone. But Vampire Diaries is the most amazing show to watch in the fall, and then Gossip Girl is also really great to watch at the end of fall going into like winter. It's literally, those are my favorite shows ever. So been watching that, and that's really about it. Movies, did we go see anything good lately? Oh, Papillon was good. We saw Papillon with Charlie Hunnam. Love that guy. And we just watched Infinity War again in theaters in IMAX because they did a Marvel 10-year anniversary thing, but you guys already know how I feel about Marvel, so I don't need to drag that on. Some music I've been listening to, I actually have a lot to tell you about. Liam Payne's EP was so good. If you guys haven't listened to it, you definitely need to. I'm gonna play you short little clips of 2 of the songs, maybe 3. There's 4. One's kind of a slow song, so I'll leave it out, even though it's really good, but you don't need to hear it. That song just makes me want to like do this. Anyways, great stuff, great stuff. What else have I listened to? Obviously the entire Ariana Grande album is really great. I'm not gonna play any for you because you probably heard them, but Sweetener, Good Night and Go, Get Well Soon, Better Off, Breathe In. Obviously I'm obsessed with God Is a Woman, but I talked about that like I think in my last favorites video. And then No Tears Left to Cry, obviously, but you guys have been listening to that for a really long time, so nothing new there. This song called Played Out by a band called The True Blue. They're a very, very, very small band, so if you are listening to this, you should check them out. I will leave their info down below, but this song is, I'm into it. A few more songs I'm really into. Letters to My Ex by Pleasure P. Okay guys, so that is going to be it for my August/September favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed. If we share any of the same favorites, please let me know down in the comments down below. I love responding to you guys and hearing your input and everything like that. But also, if you guys had any favorites that really stood out to you within the last month or two, please also let me know down below because I love testing out new things. Don't forget to check out my Instagram and Twitter if you want. They are obviously going to be right here. But I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great morning, noon, evening, day, night, whenever it happens to be that you're watching this video. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!